Ladies and gentlemen, for the 1044th time it is the Mason and Friends Show, featuring that dude called his Junus.
I buried that present stealing some bitch right there.
As well as that dude called Big Mike. As well as that lady called Lisa.
Hello.
As well as myself, L. Mahoney. Welcome to the Mason and Friends Show.
What's happening, y'all? What's good out there today? Now, we can get back to what we was talking about. Since, 4th of July done already passed and all that bullshit, now we going to talk about some Christmas shit here. Now, Lisa had brought up a question.
Christmas in July, if you will.
Yeah,
That's just my birthday.
Because Lisa asked, what would be the appropriate age to tell your kids that Santa ain't fucking real? Okay? Now,
I kind of agree with Mike.
I told my kids off bat, and this is how it happened.
Like from 1 year old on, there ain't no Santa.
Layla has never believed in Santa. Okay.
She a realist because of you.
Yes.
She's like, that man's a fake.
I told her out the gate.
Oh, wow.
This is what happened. When I was married the first go round and we did Christmas and shit, fucking putting presents under the tree after I done fucking spent all night rapping and
You
buying
got mad
shit.
that you didn't get credit?
I see on the motherfucking box that it says from Santa, and because I give out I hand out the presents at the Christmas tree. I'm handing out the presents that says from Santa. Hey,
Big Santa. Yeah.
Who the fuck Santa? What's this here?
You're Santa, motherfucker.
Well, we had to put Santa on it. No, the fuck we don't. We put Dad on this motherfucker is what we put. It's my motherfucking money. Fuck, I ain't believe no fake ass bullshit like that.
How old were you when you found out?
2.5.
5?
Okay, so you at least had a couple years where the dream could be alive.
I couldn't even remember what the fuck those couple years
It needs to
were.
be less a combo about Santa ain't real and more a combo when you tell your kids, if you get the opportunity to before they find out from somebody else, or you're just like Mike and tell them from jump.
Tell them from the jump.
You say
why?
to them, not that Santa's not real, but baby, I hope you know I'm Santa. I've been Santa. I'm sorry I tricked you.
No, what you're saying is I'm a liar.
That's a
You're
pattern.
a liar, little child. I've been lying to you about a figment of our imagination.
Yeah, because it is. You're lying. Look, Tooth Fairy, all that shit.
I believed in Santa till I'm not sure when.
That's what I said to my kids.
And it was,
I'm Santa, Santa's I.
It was perfectly fine. I wasn't mad at my parents for being Santa.
Right.
But
because it's
it is
lie,
a dishonesty thing.
But it's cute that you let them have that imagination and that. It's fun. We had a whole thing, so I couldn't not pretend they were Santa. Every year we make reindeer food, sprinkle the reindeer food.
That's the first wife wanted to do.
Fun traditions. It was
like
so
doing
sweet.
Reindeer food, all that shit.
It's almost worth the lie for the joy.
My mom was like, "Oh, we gotta set out cookies for Santa." I'm
That's
like, "For what?" But see, I always
You're a realist. You look at Mama 8 years old.
I always thought this way.
I'm eating them motherfuckers.
There was a certain hint. There was a hint in my family though, because we left out pretzels and beer. Or peanuts and beer.
So you already knew.
Because my dad was going to drink a beer and eat some peanuts.
Yeah, that says a lot about your child.
So
common sense, I would deduct shit. All right, if I'm asking for shit, you're giving me the Sears catalog to ask me what I want for Christmas. We go to the store and you're telling me, hey, what is it that you want for Christmas? Then I see the shit that I asked right here for Christmas. Okay, I know that shit costs money. Santa ain't got money. You talking about this motherfucking dude somewhere making these
hanging out with a bunch of midgets and shit.
Making this thing.
Just making midgets.
He's making a PlayStation game.
You've been skeptical since birth. You've been you came out cynical.
Yeah, not cynical. Just
tell her about watching Bambi. Tell her about Bambi.
You don't know about my Bambi?
Tell her about Bambi.
Can I get an age first? How old were you?
It was a re-release in the theaters when I was little.
Of course, it came out in the 40s or the 20s or some shit.
I had to be.
I just meant were you like
5 or 6?
I think it was in 88 or so.
So I want to say between 5. I'm gonna give you 3 movies between 5 and probably 8 years old. I saw my first 3 movies I remember in the theater were Bambi, Lost Boys, and Color Purple.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's range, man.
Exactly.
That's range. You grew up. By the time you finished Color Purple, you were done. You were already a man.
He's already trauma. He was already trauma. He was already
I'm watching Bambi. I remember this shit.
No.
Not only you were already a man, you were a black man.
I'm in the theater with my two aunts. They take me to the movie theater. They're like, oh, they want to take me to go see Bambi and shit. I'm like, all right, we'll go see Bambi. I don't know nothing about this motherfucking movie. It's a fucking reindeer or a deer on the TV or the screen or whatever. And I'm watching this shit.
Lost his mother.
Yeah, Bambi's mama dies.
Just wait.
I'm laughing. Like, fucking my aunt and them, everybody else in the theater, they're all like upset.
Psychopath does show up at an early age.
I'm fucking laughing. My aunt literally looks at me. She goes, oh, okay.
Yep.
You're a different one. You're a special one. I'm like, okay, I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. I'm like, all right. I'm like, but it's a cartoon. I know this shit ain't real, so why is everybody in this motherfucker crying? I couldn't wrap my head around that
You
shit.
did not have the ability to just suspend your disbelief.
I knew it wasn't real.
He wasn't
Right.
anthropomorphizing or whatever
So you
that
missed
term
the
is.
point because you were focusing on the representation it was coming at you in.
Yeah.
He saw bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's a trend.
You know what I mean? So then come, here fast forward to
Challenge
Lost.
you.
Here's fast forward to Lost Boys. The next motherfucking movie I see. This is the movie that fucking traumatized me with rice. I
Yeah.
could not eat rice no
The whole
more
thing.
because the
That's
scene in the
terrible.
joint when they're fucking eating the Chinese food and it goes to the rice and it's maggots.
Baby
So
mice.
for years I couldn't eat rice because all I could see was maggots. But I'm like, they took me to go. Same aunts that took me to see Bambi, they took me to see Lost Boys.
Yeah, after they saw your reaction with Bambi, they were like, let's give him something that
Yeah,
might get
fucking-
closer to
yeah,
Let's see
home.
how you make this little bastard.
He hood? All right, then we got I got something for him.
He gangsta. He
Oh,
can
you think
handle
you
it.
hard?
Are
Like,
you-
my,
are you
The
on? Are you
vampires
on?
aren't what got me. It was the maggots and the rice. You know what I mean? And then they're like, all right,
That's more
probably
real.
been
That's
eating
the one.
rice.
That's a real
He
thing that
probably liked
happened.
rice. And
Yeah.
he's seen it and he's
He was
like,
a rice eating
rice and
motherfucker.
gravy,
Yeah.
man. Shit, that was on point, yo. Rice, gravy, and liver. What?
and they're like,
shit?
Mike, it's your favorite. And you're like, bleh,
I'm
bleh.
scared of the vampires because
Nah.
you know that's not real. But the rice, the maggot rice, that could happen.
The shit in the movie was funny to me. Certain shit in the movie was.
It is kind of a
Then
wild.
here came Color Purple. Color Purple. I'm watching fucking Color Purple. And I'm like, yo, why the fuck ain't somebody whipping Harpo's ass or even Mister's ass? Like, all these motherfuckers know this dude's a bad dude. Why not fuck him up? Bitch, the nigga blew up the kitchen for fucking sugar. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you've been shaving this motherfucker
Yeah.
for so long, you would just now decide to cut this nigga's neck because you found your motherfucking letters from your sister?
Yeah, but
Like,
Mike,
fuck.
you
But
would have
this is
started the
what I thought.
revolution. Mike would have started the revolution, y'all.
This is what I was thinking
You don't
as a
think there were men
child.
like you though that like you didn't think like there's probably reasons beyond?
I never thought there were kids that thought the same way I did because I would see it in school. I'd be in school and I'm like, y'all motherfuckers don't think the way I do. Like even
Right.
when I got
That's
when
why
I,
he be battling the demons at haunted houses and shit.
Yeah.
when we came up here, when we moved up here into the country, and I was in history class when I was doing history class, and I'm watching shit, and I'm watching motherfuckers laugh at black people get sprayed with the water hoses and shit. I'm like, and the teacher ain't saying shit. I'm like,
That's fucked.
the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like this shit, this is actually real. I've heard these stories. I've been around the people that this shit has happened to, and y'all motherfuckers is laughing. Like, why the fuck ain't you saying something?
Nobody told him to see Color Purple.
And then fucking when they're talking about the government this and the government
That's
that.
the fuck you
And-
were
Yeah.
unaware
It's
of
fuck year.
when you were in Liberty.
And
I
I'm
wasn't
asking,
unfucking aware of it. Are you kidding me?
and I'm
Why
asking
you think I
questions
left at
like,
18?
this shit don't make sense. Why are we doing this and this doesn't make sense? And I'm getting fucking fussed at like, no, it doesn't make sense. If you can make it make sense to me, I will fucking go ahead with the fucking shit. But you're not. Like I
Because it's
used to,
unjustifiable.
I used to battle with teachers, but teachers at the same time, there was nothing you could get me on because I'm not fucking going out of the way.
'Cause
I'm
I'm
not
not
being
wrong.
disrespectful to you. Yeah, exactly. And by that whole logic was like,
If I was, I would not be talking right now.
exactly. I'm combating you, and you're not able to fucking disprove what I'm saying. I've always thought that way. That's just how I've been wired that way. So when
Yeah.
it came to the Santa shit, That's exactly how it was with the kids.
You know what the core memory is that affected you? It wasn't
Mike saw
babies.
Color Purple, and then there was no Santa Claus.
No, it wasn't. It
A
wasn't.
leads to B.
It wasn't that Bambi's mama died and he was laughing. That's not the core memory. The core memory is when your auntie turned to you and said, "You different."
Yeah.
That's the thing that stuck with you. So you constantly were thinking about things in terms of how am I different
how do
exactly?
normal
And then you
people
look
think?
around and
Let
you
me-
see shit
And I
people
noticed that,
doing stuff you would
yeah.
never do, and you're
And I'm
like,
like,
I am different.
that
so
makes sense.
now I'm gonna have oppositional defiance disorder with every motherfucker with authority because I don't trust them.
No, I just never.
I'm
I
different.
never fucked with it. I always had a problem with authority. I had
That's
a problem
called
with all kinds
oppositional
of shit.
defiance disorder, honey.
Hey, you call it that? I just say I have a problem with certain people telling me shit to do. Like if I don't agree with it, I can't fuck with it. Like
Oh, I know.
I got
I'm
it
just-
too or something, apparently.
man, this one.
I think we all do. She's
Yeah.
diagnosed all
No,
of us with
you
that.
don't. You maybe a little bit, but you're more like anti-corruption, anti-government, anti all that shit. You're more of a like anti.
Yeah.
You and the Jew are more of a like, don't tell me what to do. I know what I'm fucking doing.
Yeah.
You don't have authority over my life and self.
Yeah.
Like a boss tells you, like yells at you, you're gonna bite back, right?
Oh,
a boss
yeah,
yells at you. I feel like you'd be like,
Well, it
fucking
depends on what
boss.
I'm being yelled about.
Yeah,
I feel like you
that's
would be a little bit more reasonable, though. I feel like they might react like a little bit like I'm not wrong.
I've reacted so many ways to where I've had managers pray before they ask me questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've even
Yeah,
tried
you
to
would be my
different.
worst nightmare if I was trying to be an
Mike
actress.
keeps bosses in fear like he does
Yeah.
demons in houses.
Yeah.
You gotta
Because
make
there's
them.
no
You gotta
tactic.
make them ask themselves, "Do I really want to
Do
talk
I
to that
really wanna
motherfucker?
bother with this
Do I wanna
motherfucker
talk to
or
that
not?"
That's what
Yeah.
happens. That's what happens. That's
Because
absolutely
it's a simple
what happens.
question. You ain't getting a simple answer.
Nah. And if it's something that's absolutely stupid, like I've had bosses, I've had people literally come to me with something dumb, and I'm like, "Hey, did you hear yourself ask me this shit?" And they're
Right.
like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, and I will say exactly what you say. Now, you heard what I said, right? Yes. Did it sound like it made sense? No. So why the fuck would you ask me?
Right, because
know
you
what
don't
I mean?
respect titles just because they have the title.
Yeah, hell
You
no.
respect like when there's actually like
something to the
like
table.
a
Right,
reason for it.
If,
Like
if you can make sense to me, I got you. Like when people are like, "Oh, you wouldn't say this to this that." I've had presidents of the companies come try to say shit to me, and I'm right in their ass too. I don't give a fuck who the fuck
you
you
probably
are.
made them go home and think
Like
about how they treat people or
you
how
could
they say
be
things. You know, it's
the
fine.
fucking Pope, and if the Pope was here, I lighten to that motherfucker. I would light the Pope the fuck up, cause
Yeah.
fuck him and all the motherfuckers rolling with him.
It's not about
'Cause it's
seniority or authority. It's about
Motherfucker,
what
you're
you bring.
hiding these motherfuckers that do shit to kids. Y'all go ahead there like, oh, that's cool. But pray and all this shit and be all holy. No, you're not fucking holy. You fucking assholes. Fuck all of y'all.
I still can't believe that
Prove
didn't like
me
take
wrong.
down the church. I guess I mean like as long as that
Because
motherfucking
the
church has been
church
around.
has-
Church is dug in.
The
I
church
know.
is the
They
They got their
power.
own country.
Any
has
other
the
Vatican.
Vatican.
Own
I
shit.
know, but it's like any
It's
other
got a higher
company.
quotient of pedophiles in it than any other state in the
And
world.
they run and make the rules for themselves. On top of that, their asses are in these fucking political seats too.
And they got
I know.
archives of
They are
information
seated in
that
this
we
shit.
would cut throats to get a hold of.
Man, what?
It's kind of
Oh.
like the shit we're seeing now with Epstein and everything. It's kind of like when
Yeah,
is
they
it going
know.
to be a big enough problem
It's because
that it makes it
When,
real?
when
Like
somebody
real things
shows up
happen
on the
and
doorstep
change.
and starts chopping heads off, that's when it's going to be
and
a real
that's what's
fucking
We need to
problem.
bring back vigilantes.
when you have a big enough Luigi, if you
They're
get a
coming
big enough
around.
Luigi out
Exactly.
this motherfucker, you know what I mean? Like now here, granted, the dude that Luigi killed, again, that's a motherfucker that was doing his job. He was doing what he was told by the motherfucker that
He was a
Luigi
representative.
By the
should look
system.
for.
He wasn't high
Yeah.
enough up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He just was a representative of said system. You know what I mean? It's just like motherfuckers when they try to kill the president. The president is just the tone of the fucking world right
Yeah,
now.
his words are not his words.
His shit, that's somebody else's.
Yeah, they're all controlled.
puppets. Everybody's
They're all
controlled.
puppets. That's
We
right.
know everybody. We all know the families that control this motherfucking
It's
world.
like you can't even bring them down though because they're so
You
like
can't.
untouchable.
Exactly. Money.
It's not. Yeah.
Your
yeah.
your feelings, like we said this before. Mad does not defeat money. You can't be pissed off
Yeah.
and to think you're gonna defeat money. You can't go out here and protest and think you're gonna stop money flowing. Even if you try to stop the money from flowing, they already got their hands in so much shit that the money is not gonna stop flowing. Okay, You want to stop smoking cigarettes? That's cool. Stop smoking cigarettes. But I'm over here I'm funding the shit stopping the smoke cigarettes deal. You know what I mean?
Me and Biggie had a whole convo about that last
Yeah,
night.
you're on both sides.
We were talking big long talk about that because I was telling him about how embarrassing the addiction to vaping is, knowing what I know and knowing the deep dive I did on the tobacco industry and all the podcasts and documentaries that I read about all the cover up with that shit, and yet here I am. But that's like addiction in itself, right? But the thing that kills me is like we wouldn't even know where to begin to take stuff down because it is so cloaked.
Everything
is so cloaked and protected.
Yeah, shadow companies.
What did they do?
Kind of such.
What did they do though back in the day? Let's pretend we're a bunch of indigenous peoples, right? There's still probably corruption going on in the teepees and the huts, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
well,
like,
you act like they
those
weren't all
leaders,
in war and killing
so
each
like,
other
if
all the time.
if we were all sitting around, what would be the reason we revolted against the chief? Because there's not a money, there's a barter system.
It would be.
What would be it?
It
What
would
would
be
be-
fucking how the tribe is being took care of in a sense. Like, all right,
He
are
led
we
us into
able-
battle that got us fucked up. That wasn't necessary. So we're gonna chop his head off.
where did we lose that along the way? That tribal instinct to protect the masses
when the
and
money
the tribe.
came and involved with shit.
No, it's when the authority above us became great enough to stop us.
That right there. Again, Creature from Jekyll
Yeah.
Island. Read that motherfucking book when the feds
Ooh, I want
became the
to.
power. That book, I'm
I
telling
want to.
you.
What is it again? Creatures.
The creature
I
from
remember.
the creature from Jekyll Island.
It's about the Fed and how the Fed's
It's
a
the
problem.
Fed. And
Oh, I'm so
and how
excited. I drive by that building every day and I give it a stink eye
It
in
tells
Richmond.
you exactly what they did, where they went, how they came to be, and then it shows you and gives you examples of how that no matter what regime is in play in any country, there's somebody from one of those families involved with all of it. They make sure that these people are involved some kind of way, and it's always around the money aspect of it all.
That's why Epstein's probably still alive.
He probably is. You know what I mean? Because even if you got shit on these motherfuckers, people really don't give a damn.
He's just on a different island.
People are pissed. People are pissed off, but the thing is, the reason why
We
people
can't affect change. We can't get there. We can't make it happen.
you can't afford to try to affect the change because you got bills and shit.
That's right.
You think you can stop working for fucking a year or two and protest and do shit? You can't.
You can't.
You can't. There's no way.
You could leave your family farm back in the 1600s and be like, I'm going to take a
Yeah.
rifle and ride my horse and get
Yep.
together with a bunch of other motherfuckers with a rifle and a horse and fucking let's go get busy in this field and see what happens and see if we can't change the outcome of this country.
Exactly.
But the way it is now, they wouldn't want that.
Nah.
Founding fathers would be sick by this place.
Exactly. You can't. It's sad to say it, but you really cannot fight the beast that's already here. You can try.
You gotta try from the inside, but it's too difficult, and then they fucking run you out.
Because those from the inside.
Well, that's what I do every day in my corporate job for a financial institute. I try to do little things here and there that I feel like I'm like tearing down the man.
Well, like I was like looking at a job that had secret clearance, and I was like reading up on what that entails, and I was like, there ain't no way I'm getting that shit.
Yeah.
So
It's funny though,
I'm not
like
even
people,
gonna bother.
when you have people like Mike and I in leadership positions, there is a shift though in the rooms that exists, because if there is a motherfucker that's going to be willing to say something a little off the wall or a little less status quo and question things, I mean, I think that's why, like my classes, I've been teaching all these classes, right, to teach people what's in it for me, to make clients understand it's basically a class, it's fucking boot camp for how to show empathy to clients and have better customer service skills, right? I basically teach people how to talk to motherfuckers on the phone. So in these classes, like these people come in and they think they're about to get yelled at by corporate training. They're about to be like chastised because they know they've been rude, they know they haven't had a great attitude, they're not collecting enough money. But I come in and I'm like, we're gonna talk about what it means to be a good person. And I'm gonna say some things that probably are gonna make you like laugh out loud, but also wonder how I'm in this position, because I don't talk like a corporate bitch. Like I get in these meetings, I'm calling clients homies, I'm telling people about how there was a time in my life where a collector changed my life because I had one conversation with a bitch at Visa that made me realize I need to stop living in my goddamn car. There were audible gasps
Yeah.
But it's people like that have to
But
be
you
not
gotta be
afraid.
relatable,
You
yeah.
can't be afraid of being like, this is the truth. We should talk
can't-
about it.
exactly.
You cannot. This is not about you guys hitting your goals right now. I'm gonna be the one bitch that comes in and teaches the class
That's what
about
changed.
how you're not manipulating to get those goals, but you're actually just being
That's
a
how
good
it was
person
with a lot of
and
motherfuckers
authentic.
when I was working in the warehouse, and I questioned the status quo, and motherfuckers like, yo, when I started questioning shit, motherfuckers like, yo, he right. That's when I became a toxic employee. I'm a problem.
Right, me
and
too.
I'm a
Yeah.
problem
That was because of your tone.
and that's the other thing that gets me. Fuck my tone. I'm telling you the fucking truth.
Y'all
But
sound
see,
angry though. You sound angry.
That's because
maybe I am.
Angry
People
on-
shut down when you
angry,
get, like, they're in trouble.
angry people don't understand the nice tone and the positions that we are in the field
male
we're in,
dominated,
yes.
especially those kind of jobs. Yeah, fuck yeah, you're right.
Nice don't go nowhere. Nice is
Right.
like, oh, whatever, fuck this mom. But when you get
Nice
that
get you
aggressive and you're like, yo, motherfucker, this is the point, and I hit you, boom, 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 and other motherfuckers like, yo, wait a minute, yo, that motherfucker, he right. I never thought about it, but this motherfucker right. Or a motherfucker be like, yo, man, hey, explain to me what you was
But
talking
those
about.
higher ups that you're undermining, because that's all they see it as. They don't see it. If
Yeah.
somebody comes in with a better idea than the boss, it's
Yeah, you're
very
stirring up the
rare
fleas.
bosses
But it's-
that will sit
yeah,
back
see,
and be
that's the
like,
thing.
he got a
They
point.
still see their bottom dollar.
Yeah,
They're gonna
because
say he a problem.
That's because they're like, he's stirring up the pot here.
Yeah.
They need yes men in those positions.
Yeah.
And then when motherfuckers are like, why don't you get that position? I said, because I'm not a yes man. They will never let me in
Yeah.
that door.
Right.
Because
And that's
I
why the
don't bow
company
down
I've
for
seen,
shit.
I've seen so many
Exactly.
people quit after they got their foot in the door and they realized they thought I was one of them. I got into like higher up management at this fucking financial institute thinking that like I'm gonna change this department because I'm high enough now that I have a fucking voice. You know what? That's not what happened at all because nobody gave me the floor long enough to actually begin to get everybody to understand what I'm saying is actual actionable things that can make this better to retain employees and this,
And
that, and
see,
the other. Because all they care about is like
What's the
what's
bottom
making
line?
the most money
Yeah.
and how do we trick these people into staying in their seats
That's
to make us that
And
money.
being in that room, in the rooms like
Oh,
that,
it's the most disheartening
it
shit.
fucking sucks.
Oh, it's awful.
Because I remember being in a room and I'm sitting there and I'm hearing the motherfucking dude that runs the
That's
show
why we got to start to mirror and lure.
about fucking how you're gonna fucking do this and how he's gonna fucking cheat these people out of certain shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are we cheating the people? Why not just do the right thing
Right.
and get paid the money so we can secure that?
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't have to worry
They can
about
always
that.
make more.
No, I didn't have to worry about that because
we
I got
got
a homie.
47 more pennies per
Yeah.
transaction.
I got another
than
homie.
Do it correctly.
Exactly. I got
Yeah,
another
lose
homie that's gonna
50
make
cents.
sure I get me this other job, so I ain't even worried about that job. I'm like, yeah, but even that still doesn't make sense. Why not just do it right? And then you got the people when you gotta fire somebody. I'm like, all right, well, we'll just get rid of them. We'll write them up and do the right thing. No, we're gonna make it difficult for them.
Yeah.
So they quit. Why make it difficult? If this
Yeah, we're gonna
motherfucker's already
policy
fucking
them
it
out.
up,
We're gonna
just-
policy
yeah,
them out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
because
literally been
maybe-
told
We'll
to
make
do
it harder
that.
for
Yeah.
them, but also harder for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a difficult task. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. I don't want to be in here for this shit. You know what I mean? Because you're asking me to do something that goes against what the fuck I think.
My
I've been on
morals and
both sides.
values,
I've
yeah.
been there with this dude. I've know what this guy's going through. You know what I mean? Y'all don't know what this fucker's
To
going
you,
through.
they're just an employee ID.
Exactly. Well, when I used to hit motherfuckers with like
Just numbers.
I would
man.
come in. That's what
It's
I would hit
just
him
numbers.
with. I hit it. You know how Marshawn Lynch, before Marshawn Lynch even did this, when he was like, "I'm just here so I don't get fined." When I would go to work, motherfuckers like, "Yo, man, how you
Great
doing?"
moment.
Man, I'm just here to get my check. That's all I'm doing. I'm just here to clock and I'm a 1 and 0. They're like, "What? I'm a 1 and 0. What are you doing? Why are you here then?" So I can pay my bills. That's all I'm here for.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
here
not
to make
because
money.
you've inspired me for greatness.
I'm not here to make this company better. I'm not here to fucking
See, and
get
that's
your
the
bottom
reason
line
why
right.
I think that doing it correctly should be the mentality and the goal, is because that'll make the people that are there
But
feel better about what they're doing.
It's fucked up because there's a duplicity behind it, right? There's like leaders out there that see a bitch like me and they're like, oh my God, let's make her the like onboarding person that peppers everybody with all that positivity and that greater purpose, because that's it. That's what it is. Like I'm not really thinking about my job as like I'm tricking you to drink the Kool-Aid, but really and truly they found a girl like me that's really passionate and happy all the time and perky and funny and like inspiring.
They
that
want to
they're
put
like
you into the front.
they're like, okay,
We can
but
use
they're
you.
missing the point. The whole reason I want to do this instead of the people management aspect of it is because I sat in those rooms. I lost all hope for that my managerial desires in corporate America when I was literally told that I had to reserve 20% of my merit increase bucket. You're given a certain bucket, you got to figure out who gets what, right? I was told to reserve 20%. It wasn't until a year later that I found out through the grapevine, the more corporate fucks I've met over time, that I learned that the bonuses of the people in charge of my group they actually were given larger bonuses because who reserved the most and gave their people the less and figured out ways to keep people retained by not spending the money in the bucket.
Because
I was done. I was like, you got a bigger bonus because you shorted my bitch who gives her heart and soul and she's on food stamps. The fuck, dude?
Any corporate company that's paying people and those people that work there are using food stamps, that corporate company should be fined.
Because
straight up.
I worked where it was.
You should have to pay enough that people don't need that.
You could give an employee either 1 to 3%
That's for people that don't have a full-time motherfucking job.
And you weren't supposed to give everybody the 3% raise.
You
give them the 1%,
discouraged.
but you're
discouraged.
You give them the 1%, but you don't give them the 3% because they won't see the 3% next year and say you're not here.
This is why I fought the most with my manager, my
That shit
boss.
used to piss me off. I was like, I hated those headaches. I hated when the guys would come to me and be like, hey man, what's going on? I'm going to tell you exactly what the fuck's happening. They don't want you here and they're going to try to make you quit. So this is what the fuck you need to do. Like, I'm going to give you this game. I'm not going to gatekeep this shit because I'm not them. I can't do what they do because I don't understand how you can be that kind of individual and to be chilling your life.
They know just how to do it in a way too that they can get you out on a policy that makes you ineligible to receive unemployment.
Yeah,
that's the other tactic I was taught. That's the other tactic I was taught.
And they show you these things.
Yeah, there's an evil part of a person that gets ignited that you don't even know was there when you realize. Nobody realizes that that's why they're telling you to we'll call HR about it. Call HR because HR. Those are the motherfuckers that know exactly how to get it done in a way that protects the company the most.
And I tell people this all the time.
They're not for the people.
HR is to protect the company. That is HR's job. Is how do I protect this company from being liable for anything that happens during this time of your employment? Because I remember working with the lady that did HR at this one company, and I would sit in the office with her, and I would hear the fucking shit, and I'm like,
those conversations make you sick.
This shit's fucked up. But she's like, well, this is what I have to do. I'm like, but you're supposed to be looking out for them. She's like, no, actually, I'm not. I have to make sure that anything happens doesn't fall on this company and they can't sue this company. I'm like, yo, fuck that. Nah, there's got to be a way around it. But then I remember one time something happened to me and I called this unemployment lawyer. I'll never forget her. I called her up. I told her what's going on. She's like, well, Virginia's at right work state. And I'm like, explain that to me then. Yeah, because I didn't know what it was. You got the right to work.
And you got the right to be fired.
You don't have any rights at work. Yeah. And I was like,
They named it something that's so kind of the opposite of what it actually is.
That's that motherfucking 1984 double speak.
Double speak.
Double speak. Yeah, that's exactly what it fucking is.
That's what everything is. Like they change shit up now.
They're trying to make it more and more.
Homeless motherfuckers, you can't say homeless.
Unhoused.
They're unhoused. You can't say somebody died or suicide or anything like that. It's got to be they were unalived. What the fuck does that?
Which doesn't even specify because they maybe got murdered. Maybe they killed themselves.
They're unalived.
I know.
They're unalived and unhoused.
Those podcasts
what is DC doing for the unhoused?
Certain things, and they're just saying homeless.
The unhoused? What the fuck are you talking about? You talking about the homeless motherfucker?
You can't say murder.
No. You gotta say unalive.
How do we get away with that?
Because we're the fucking shit.
No, because I listen to a lot of murder podcasts, and they always go like murked or she got offed, and then they say because you can't say it, sexual assault is the same thing.
Ride in the land of shadow banned.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
Yeah, we're under the radar.
We're banned. We're shadow banned because we say things like murder, rape, and mayhem.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be like, oh, don't say that. Hold on. Well, I go edit the show after to cut out the word fucking murder.
For a long time, I didn't understand why these people were getting bleeped out.
Or great.
They were doing it to themselves. I'm like, you made this podcast. Why did you? Yeah, they really are. They're like, she got SA'd. Because they can't say
sexual assault.
That's crazy.
That's that bullshit.
But that's like places like YouTube being like, we're not going to monetize you if you say words. And
if you jump
we're not playing the game, and we never will.
Because it's pointless.
I'm not going to edit y'all. I'm not going to say to you, sorry, Jew, you can't say that word that you just said. because of X, Y, or Z, or anybody else.
It makes no sense when supposedly you got freedom of speech. Now, yes, you got the freedom of speech,
and they
but
say
there are some
there's freedom of
consequences.
consequence. You don't have freedom of consequence.
Yes.
And consequence should be in real world situations, and algorithms should not be set up against you because you use your free speech on a platform that's not supporting free speech.
Yes.
And a platform that's not supporting free speech through the government and has been doing that for a very long time, regardless of what administration is in office.
I just wonder why these podcasters are wasting time editing that way. I didn't realize that there was like an overlord.
It's a monetization.
It's a monetization. Yeah.
I get it.
They're trying to make sure they can make money on the content.
Right, because if you're listening to this podcast, not this podcast, but some of the podcasts I listen to and YouTube videos I watch and like content creators and shit, the people that are watching that shit they're not like gonna be victimized by you saying she was sexually assaulted. So I don't understand. I just didn't like how.
Because it's gonna trigger somebody's emotion that was.
But they already do the disclaimer, like warning: this podcast may contain elements that trigger you. Here's the suicide hotline, and if you're being abused,
it's more shit to control what the fuck is being said. Like, I got a homie that has this podcast. I've been on this podcast a couple times already, but when we were talking about fucking COVID and shit like that, he stopped me. He's like, you can't say nothing about that, or you can't say nothing about the shot, the vaccine. You can't say nothing. You can't mention that shit. Like when I was like, oh, the shot. No, don't say the shot. So what the fuck are we talking about?
Right. You gotta call it the jab.
You can't. I couldn't call it the jab either. I couldn't say nothing about it.
He didn't want the content on his show at all because it would have demonetized.
He would have got pulled. That whole episode would have gotten pulled off of whatever he was on. You know what I mean? I'm like, but to me that doesn't make any sense.
That's why we post to Rumble, because they're free speech.
Yeah.
And YouTube is doing what they do.
I feel like they just don't know about us yet. Like we're on there.
We were fucking blocked on a lot of shit for a while.
We don't play in certain countries. Certain episodes don't play in certain countries, and
that's why you guys have weird, like an odd number of followers in other countries. Probably because those people got on the train when there wasn't.
Yeah, well, I mean, most of the time it's Belarus or Russia that's not allowed to listen.
I see the map sometimes, and I'm like, what?
It's very strange.
The analytics behind it's odd.
Because we've been banned on some shit before. We've been taken off of shit before. It's crazy. We've had it. We've been.
Well, like when we tried to go to Spotify, that's what pissed me off about Spotify. They tried to go over there and put the videos on, and they started transferred the entire podcast to them as the host, and then they immediately struck down 175 episodes within 24 hours, and we're like, you can't have these out, and they had been out. So that's why I like Fireside, where we're at, that we post from on audio, because they don't tell us what we can and can't do.
Question. So, I went down to the land of the past recently, and I decided to go. You're always preaching. You're always like, go listen to old episodes. Blah, 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 every time we wrap up. And you've been telling me personally, have you ever listened to the old episodes? Because you act like it's some big unveil, that some big revelation that I might get when I find out my man was unhinged.
No, you have
or
no
not
idea.
even my man, but just that y'all are psycho.
No
I already know. I have no idea. I got y'all in your 40s when men typically mature. I get that. So I did. I went back several years. 43.
Show so we don't have to mature.
No, 43 is the average age that studies show a man truly matures. Okay, but anyway, side note. I went back to episode 689. But the reason that I went back to that episode is because it was one of the first video. It's called The Jew Has Trust Issues, and I hurt my own goddamn feelings watching it because all kinds of shenanigans were going on with him talking about the females in his life, and then it raised all kinds of weird questions for me the next day. However, I will say, when I went back and looked at it, I was like, oh, this is it almost feels like this episode is featured because it's one of the ones. Why don't when I go to y'all's page on YouTube, why isn't it in a chronological order? I cannot just scroll through. Is it because of how you're titling things, or
because you're not in the actual playlist? You're on the channel.
When I go to the playlist, there's only 70 available. There's not years and years.
What?
Let me show you what I'm talking about, homie, because I was very curious. I thought that you were. It did happen to be a very controversial, funny as shit, but highly inappropriate episode. I couldn't even get through the whole thing because I made myself mad. I'm telling y'all.
Most of those were.
I was sitting there
terrible.
Yeah, I had to turn it off.
Yeah, bad. Back in the day, yeah. We were vulgar
You seem
as
the
fuck.
same. You haven't changed.
Nah, you have no idea.
You haven't changed a whole
You were
lot.
vulgar.
Go
Mason,
listen to the first 100 episodes and you'll never look at
That
us the
shit's
same.
funny. The very first one y'all were talking about with cops and something about deodorant and shit.
that's on.
Yeah, but you
That's
guys
on
number
what?
sound like I'm
That's just a
dogging you, but I'm
podcast, though.
not.
So that's on what?
So the podcast that was what? Well, actually, you can get all of them on Spotify now.
You can listen to every episode on anything that shows podcasts.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's like,
Apple
so-
should be on
Music, all that.
everything.
But
Apple,
video-wise,
whatever. Video-wise,
fuck,
it's only
it's
6.
Well,
scattered.
this 689 was one of the first episodes because you were like, oh, we're on TV today, and it was because it was one of the first
Because
episodes
he used
y'all
to
were
act like
filming.
people could see him when we never had
Man,
cameras.
what? Yo, that shit was funny. We didn't have
He'd be
video.
like, you gotta do like this.
Yeah, he was like, they know what I'm talking about.
They know what I'm saying. They know
was
what I
like,
mean.
man,
They figured it out.
We was like, man, this dude was over here doing all this shit like this, right?
Right,
We had
well-
to describe to the crowd.
Plus, I was making really amusing thumbnails back in those days.
I guess it is in order now that I'm looking at it. Well, I don't know what I was on. I think I went and searched
It's
for
probably
it.
well. What happens usually
yeah.
is when you get on a video, the first one that you click on, and you can start watching that video. After that joint is done, it'll skip around. It'll go to something
You see,
different.
episode, it's all in order going down, descendingly, and then it's like episode 1009, and then it jumps to episode 17.
Yeah.
Why?
It just
What is YouTube looking at
It
that
does it. It
says-
skips it.
Yeah,
It'll
what?
skip it around. It does it on YouTube.
Literally, episode 1009, it goes episode 1010, 1011, 1000, and then you get
And
to
then it'll
9,
jump.
and it goes to episode 17.
It does it. It does it with me too when I'm on YouTube.
They're not all there.
There.
And then it goes to episode 9,
you
and
gotta
then
go
goes
to
back to episode 1008. Because I couldn't find, I started watching it, and then I got to the Jew talking about, if you know my second future ex-wife, and I was like, I don't want to hear it, and I turned it off. Because I'm too much of a jealous freak. So I turned it off. I'm too much of a jealous freak, and he too much of a, I'm just not going to tell her kind of thing, because it was in the past, why does it matter? So I already knew I was going to get pissy with myself, so I turned it off. But then I got curious and tried to go back and listen.
Here's the full episode playlist.
Yeah, but okay,
the
click
full
on,
episode
okay.
playlist, and it's in
It's
order.
just not, nah.
there. Every
Okay,
video.
how did you wait, so
Every
where did you
video.
go? Yeah, this is in order, but then where'd you click for episode? Let me get back to the top. Okay, I clicked on y'all. This is y'all's page. When I click on the subscriber, the Mason
I don't
and
know
Friends
where
show,
you went.
I just went to my subscriptions.
Yeah, it does it on my
This
shit
is-
too.
All right.
Yeah, I was curious. I was like,
It
why?
jumps around.
I thought he was a dick and was just featuring like crazy
Perfect
shit.
entertainment, right? I clicked that, so now I'm here. So if I click this, and then I click more, now I've got right here, explore the podcast. Mason and Friends Show full episodes is what that is. So you click
Okay.
that, now you're in the full episodes playlist, and every episode is there chronological.
Okay.
So,
You just can't click off it from the video.
yeah.
Well, the subscriber page takes me to random blah 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 blah.
YouTube's
You
on-
gotta click on the
Yeah, that's
subscriber
just how
page.
YouTube does
I
that.
don't know how to
click-
control YouTube.
Yeah.
I just, like,
It was
I
throwing
make
me off
the
because I
videos.
didn't want to just listen out of order, but then I couldn't even get back to episode 689. It took forever because I couldn't type in the Mason and Friends show episode 689. It would not come, did not come up.
You
I
couldn't
did
search Mason
E689.
and Friends
Uh-huh.
869 or
It did
889.
not work. Did not work. Do it right now. It'll bring up some totally different episode.
Yeah, them back in the day episodes, boy, shit. You talk about some raw
I know.
times.
I had to go back and I was like, well, when did I start coming on the podcast? Because I had to figure out, was episode 689 before or after my time?
Yeah, first thing that comes up, I put in Mason and
What-
Friends
were we
689. And boom.
Okay, well, I will show you. I will show you.
It's okay. Lisa doesn't know how to work YouTube.
No, do not. I hate that shit. User error. Okay. The Mason and Friends show. But that show had JC on it. It had you on it. Y'all look mostly the same. Mostly. But you could tell you were younger and all y'all were skinnier.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. But even the Jew, he was looking a little scrawny, like he needed a home-cooked meal.
somebody needed to make him a sandwich.
Boy, I did.
Yeah,
He's
that
talking
was
about an
another-
ex-wife and not a future.
No, this was the bitch she was pursuing, and he was mad at her
Man.
because she was pissing him off for being elusive.
Elusive, huh?
Yeah, he was actually trying, and
He was putting
she
forth
was.
effort and she was blowing him off.
Yeah, he was talking about how
She's faking on the bacon.
well,
Was she
they
faking on the bacon?
had a weird relationship where like sometimes they would be all like heavy on the text, but then they would never really meet up, and then they would run into each other,
She's faking on the bacon.
and how he thought that was like a sign. And
Ah, okay, I remember that
She gave him
episode
the
now.
look.
The look.
But she faked on the bacon.
I remember when that motherfucker used to talk about the look. That was his fucking thing.
he was into
the
this
fucking
bitch, though.
look.
he was
God
She gave him the look. Has
I
nothing to do
forgot
with the
about that
bitch.
shit, the look.
Other than the look, when he gets that look, he's fucking.
Like, what, nigga? Yeah, she gave me the look. What?
Yeah, she gave me the look.
What you talking about, man? The bitch could have been farting.
He goes, you know the look.
You did
God damn it. This
We had
motherfucker
eye
all kinds
contact
of
for a
shit.
minute.
Yeah, eye
Next thing
contact. Made eye contact.
That's her, baby, what's the look?
He don't even
Look
know.
at me. Look at me. No, I was
He
gonna.
don't know.
You give him the look.
I was gonna
and he
get
knows
You
when it
won't even look at
happens.
me. My man don't.
He's gonna start
He's
laughing.
looking now, but it's a different look now.
Oh, sorry.
No. I was gonna pull off some like come hither look, but then he wouldn't look up at me.
Come here.
Yeah,
Come hither.
you know,
Doing
like
something
a
right now.
like a like a come hither kind of.
Yeah, you're gonna give him sexy
Or you like
eyes.
look away.
No, what's he called? Hungry eyes.
Hungry eyes.
Hungry ass.
Yeah, give them hungry eyes.
Shit. God damn it. The Jew had some classic shit though, man.
Well, I've been scared to listen because I
No,
really
you know what you
don't
need
want
to
to
do?
get it in my
You
head.
really
'cause
want to
it's
find out how
so-
he really feels about certain shit. You need to find the episodes about Clankety Clank. Because that
Christ.
fucked his whole world up.
Who's
Y'all
Clankety
are the
Clank?
ones
Nah.
that
It was us that fucked him up with
Nah,
that.
because Clankety
What's
Clank
Clankety Clank?
is not an actual individual.
Clankety Clank was a character we came up with.
built off an actual individual.
Well, it
though.
was built on
Female
like,
or male?
female.
Female.
What'd she do to you, baby?
No,
No,
she didn't do anything
It
to
wasn't
me.
nothing. We just came
She's
up with
not
a
in this
scenario.
world no more.
No,
Yeah,
she
that
isn't.
person
there was
that
a
we're
nice,
talking about.
There was a very nice girl that influenced the concept of what Clankety Clank became.
What does
Yeah.
it mean?
Clankety Clank.
Damn, it
Come
has
on,
to do
you gotta
with
tell
the
me.
Jew back in the day, way back in the day, in the early episodes, he got quoted once or twice to saying, if she looks good, you know, like, or she could get it. If she looks good, she can get it.
So
You
we
know,
came
and
up
so
with
we came up with
scenarios.
scenarios of if she looked good, is it okay if she has X, Y, or Z going?
Oh, I've actually heard y'all talk about that before.
No, I don't believe so.
No, there's been midget talk and like
No.
no arms, no limbs kind of talk.
Yeah,
like,
No,
Like,
this one
No.
was the joints that, you know, when people had the fucked up legs and they got the
She was
fucking
she was
This is the-
crutches,
she was
the arm
special.
crutches.
She was a neighbor.
Part of what this Genesis
She's a
also
neighbor.
from, it was like Penelope at the strip
Oh,
club.
yes!
Because
Oh,
you
shout out
guys,
Penelope.
they come in
Yeah,
one day.
It's been a minute since
They-
y'all shot out that
They come
bitch.
in one day and they're like, man, we was in the strip club and there was this dumbass handicap girl working there. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean
Dumbass handicap girl,
And he's
he
like,
says.
she was
She was.
special.
She was
And I
slow,
was
man.
like, what?
She was slow that day.
I said, do you mean like, do you want to go get a dance, Jew?
And
Or
then,
something like
then
that?
we came up with Clankety Clank
And then-
was the bitch with the crutches on her arms, you know what I mean?
And she
Oh,
talked like that.
no.
And when she talked like this,
Aw.
we're like, Jew, she had
Like
this.
she had MS.
And we're like,
She walked funny, but she looked good.
You know the good, 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 fucking pussy.
You can't tell when she laid her down. We all,
With his ass, Jew.
we all looked the same when we were horizontal.
So this motherfucker, he was like, I can't do it, y'all. I'm done with y'all. I'm not gonna conversate this conversation. Like, we fucked him up so bad in that episode.
There are
I hope
episodes
that
where
it
we take
inspired
it so
him to
far,
think more than just about books.
and he
though.
loses his mind. Now he'll lose his mind on some shit
Oh
sometimes.
yeah.
Like, but I guess, yeah, it's usually him. Rarely do Mike and I go, all right, we've gone too far.
Yeah.
Right.
But
But
he'll start
now-
shaking his
The
head.
Jew will
at
start
us.
shaking his head at big size.
And he gets quiet. Yeah, I know.
Like, we'll say
I
something and
can
he'll go,
tell when I do it to him too.
He be like, all right, y'all motherfuckers go to hell.
Yeah.
I'm like, bitch, you in this bus with us?
Yeah, he got us.
I'm
there.
just listening.
He's like, I'm
though,
just
man.
listening, yeah.
I ain't actually in it. I ain't actually in it, y'all.
Yeah.
He's listening, but he ain't hearing.
Nah, I ain't contributing to that.
Yeah, the Clankety Clank was the most offensive thing we ever did, probably.
This episode has a whole lot of public radio.
Yeah,
we did a whole public radio.
It was a Mason Public Radio episode.
Yeah, there was a couple of those.
I would have been talking like.
But I saw 3 years ago, and I had to look at the date because I was like, 3 years ago. Who is that? Future second ex-wife 3 years ago. It should have been me. So I was like, he talked about me. And then I listened some more. I was like, this ain't me about me. This ain't about me. Because he's talking about some random girl that he sometimes talks to and hits like, we like would chat here and there. But babe, I think you had a lot of feelers out online at one point. Because there was a lot of girls I think you were talking about looking at these episodes. I'm like, I'm just the one that took.
He was a fisherman.
I'm the one
You're the one he set the hook in.
Well, I'm the one that came over and never left. Is the problem? I came over and it was done.
I don't know if it's quite like that.
I think I've had a song.
A Jew Unit song
Yeah.
that explains this somehow?
Not this one. Well, maybe this one.
Oh my God.
Every relationship, there's been a song about. Yeah, minus.
All right, faking on the
Was
bacon.
I internet girlfriend?
Minus you and
Internet bitch.
and pharmacist.
bitch.
I don't think I had a song in that little short pharmacist relationship.
I don't know if I should be flattered or hurt,
But the rest of the
there's
women,
no song about my
the
ass.
rest of the women,
No,
there was a
you're
song.
good. You don't want a song about
You
it.
don't want a song.
Nah. The
Song
songs
is
usually
like
come after the
song ends up
heartbreak
being
or-
like
or some
ball
fucked up
deep
shit.
in your wifey somewhere, which ends up resorting to ball deep in your mama somewhere. And another song would be about fucking wrong, not wrong.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Those are the two I was looking at.
So yeah, you probably don't want me to song, man.
You're right.
We go.
You're right. Maybe I'm more
Still the same
special because I don't have a
Yeah.
song.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm gonna tell
What song
myself.
is this one? What song is this one?
This is fucking wrong.
Oh, it's fucking wrong.
Gonna do? What am I gonna do now? She come to my fucking crib. Now she know where I live. It was dark, but Felicia.
Which one's this?
Fucking wrong.
Oh no, what am I gonna do with my damn self? Like I said, I sit up with this big block and I thought she had a pretty face, but now I turn the light on. Now I turn the light on and she pretty got the face. How the hell am I gonna do that? Now the only way I still got status on me. A big block with a pretty face. Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna have to do with my
Thought she had a
I
pretty
think I got my caught up, now I got my foot in my mouth. Cause I told her I ain't going ahead and quit it now. That's what I'm gonna do, is run around like a Mexican. Motherfucker wrong. No, I did not say wrong like shrimp. I said I'm motherfucking wrong. Yeah, yeah. It was just a tip. Busted 7 pumps. Like I was 13. Oh no, that's the only way I can fuck her wrong. Not wrong like shrimp. I'm saying I'm a fucker wrong like the wrong way. Like 2 + 2 is 7. No, that's fucking wrong.
It's so offensive.
How did you fucking do? When the mother beat you.
Okay,
God damn it.
there's a lot of stuff. And there's definitely ones about women.
I mean, I did like some of the stuff y'all were telling him when he was going off about this chick because he was saying how she kind of like got to him mentally because she was saying stuff about like there's a reason why we're put together in this world, and you had to explain. You explained to him like what that means, like white people version of what that means. Like you broke it down for him. That there's like a purpose and like but she also could be mind fucking you a little bit.
Hey, look, I do got my philosophical shit. You know what I
And
mean?
you just talk about the skirt, that she wore. That's what you were worried about. You were like, but then I see the skirt. I don't know. You gotta listen. It was just, that episode. I was like, no, Mason, you need to stop telling current girlfriend of the Jew to listen to old episodes.
I tell everyone to listen to old episodes.
Because it's been 3 years and I never ventured down that path, and I understand now why I was
And you
hesitant.
freaked yourself out, so
I
all right,
did.
don't do it anymore then.
I did. Well, I didn't freak myself out. I just, women, it don't matter who the bitch is. It don't matter how much she meant to you or not meant to you. If she came before us and we don't have a pre-existing relationship with that person, we ain't gonna like it. We ain't gonna like it. It don't matter who she is, what she was to you, nothing. We just don't like her. We ain't gonna like it because
that's the one thing
she's
I gotta
before
give
us.
my wife credit on, man. My wife, she don't have
That's because she knows everybody and has a story about them. Who'd you introduce her to that she didn't know? Somebody's cousin or somebody's brother or somebody's something. I feel like every time I mention anybody to your wife, she knows them.
Yeah, well, the thing is, but see, with Sarah, though, she's not jealous of shit. Like, she's like, I know you got a past. I know you had girlfriends and all this shit. Like,
right, that's that.
It
that's
doesn't
that.
bother
That's that,
her.
that like level of inside confidence that she has.
Yeah, she doesn't give a
She
she's
has
like,
that.
She
definitely.
goes, babe, I know you call girls sweetheart. I know you hug girls and all. She's like, I don't care.
I wouldn't care about
And
that
I'm
so
like,
much.
yeah. You see, you be cautious.
Only because
Whatever,
it would be
man.
it would be so weird for you to do it because you don't call everybody that. You're
If
not
I did
like.
it, whatever.
If you said
That
if
would
you
not
call
work for
somebody
you.
honey,
That would not work for you.
I'd be like, you don't call anybody honey. Like it'd be weird to me. Only because it's not normal. But you tell everybody honey, sweetheart.
Anyways, I hug
See,
somebody.
Mike,
Why you hug her like
I
that?
figured out a
I
technique
never
for
said
you.
that. I've
I don't
never
hug a
said that.
motherfucker.
What you got to do
I've never
to try to give
said
Sarah
that
that attention that Lisa says she demands or whatever, you got to treat her like you haven't seen her every time you see her. And like you haven't seen her in
Like
a while.
you're the golden retriever
You gotta
that
be
just
like-
realized that you're not getting left alone
That's it. You gotta be
forever.
like, oh my God, it's you. Hey, sweetie. Hey.
It could be 5 minutes. It could be 5 hours.
That
it could
would
be
be
5 days.
disingenuous.
How though? If you
Disingenuous,
genuinely
yeah.
are happy to see a bitch, why can't
I'm
you act like
always
a
happy to see
motherfucker?
her, but it's like,
She wants the golden retriever behavior.
yeah, I'm not a golden retriever behavior kind of guy.
That's true.
I don't think either of y'all are.
I'm more of like the Rottweiler that protects the house. Like, all right.
Although
He's
I
staring out
will
the window
say
drooling.
there's a version of golden retriever in y'all because I came in on Friday, and there's sometimes where if the whole weekend will be different if I don't get the acknowledgement when I walk through the door, the golden retriever energy. I just need a little bit. I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking for like a peck on the cheek or like a hey baby, what's up?
Hump her leg.
That's
Yes.
to me, yeah, I know. I'm very
Pee on the
simple.
floor.
No, that's, you know what he did? You know what he did?
Cat caller enough.
I did tell him that. I said I like to be objectified. It'd be nice if you did
Yes.
that a little more. But I know it's weird. But I came in. We just both were doing our business. We were unpacking, doing stuff, carrying things. The boys were here, whatever. And a few minutes, like maybe 10, 20 minutes had gone by, and he realized I didn't do my normal thing where I went up and hugged him and gave him a kiss, like make him give me a kiss, make me hug me, because I'll just seek it myself. Like I'm not gonna hold it against you that you're not that type of person.
Yeah.
I like that kind of shit, but again, like a woman being complicated, I might see it as like, oh wow, why is he being thirsty, But he grabbed my arm and whipped me around, like when I was walking away, and he like pulled me in and he's like kissed me, and he was like, what the fuck? And I was like, because I hadn't done it yet. Like, so instead of me sitting around being like, oh, he never does that to me, it's like
You didn't
he
give him a chance
noticed.
to.
Well, he noticed
He finally
when
got a
I
real
didn't
chance
do
to.
it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, maybe I've had this all wrong this whole time. He actually really does expect it so much but I loved it when he grabbed my arm like that and like pulled me in because I was like, oh, okay, mister, tell me what to do. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, y'all.
Yeah, but then I was in fucking trouble 7 minutes later because of when I was like, I'm going upstairs.
He did. I was on the
That
couch.
wasn't me invitating her enough that let's
Because
go upstairs
he
together.
just disappeared. He said, I'm going
She didn't say,
upstairs.
I'm going upstairs for this deal.
I said, I'm
He
going
didn't say-
upstairs.
Some of this.
I'm about ready to lay the fuck down.
He
Yeah.
could, and I said, what did I say? I let him know
He
immediately.
said, bye.
I said,
like, I already
bye.
had because I didn't invite you to fucking come up here with me. Knowing goddamn well you're
You
going to
just
end up that
let me down
motherfucker
there.
anyways.
I was
7
only
minutes
down
after
there.
being happy.
I was only down there because you were down there.
So
was
why
only-
not go
You
up
know,
when
I
went
was
up?
I was so proud
If
of both
you don't
of you in
care if
one
I
way,
go up or
and
not,
I'm
why
so
would I go up?
disappointed in both of you in just another
No,
way.
He's going up regardless. He's going to walk his ass up those stairs regardless. He don't give a shit if I'm there. So
See, that's the
I'm not
mindset
there.
that you and Sarah
That's
different at because see, Sarah knows I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, but
like
y'all,
a
that,
WNBA
y'all are
player.
different than
Yeah.
that.
Unreasonable.
Y'all are different than that. I'm not being unreasonable. If you, there's a way to. I'm trying
Hey,
to
they
teach.
talk about, what are you doing? Motherfucker, I'm upstairs. Like I
I
said,
text him because nothing happened. Like
I was
it
trying to
worked-
get ass upstairs.
It worked too
I'm going
well.
upstairs.
I was sitting there and I was bored,
Why
and I was
can't
like,
you
I
ask?
can't
He
believe.
says, I'm going upstairs. You can't say you want some company?
Because that's what I always do. I'm always like the little
He
puppy
gave
dog.
you the twirl smooch out of nowhere. You gotta fucking play back.
I just want a little Rigo Suave.
Remember the 5X?
I want a
Come on
little
now.
baby. Let's go
Everything he does.
upstairs with like a little wink. That's what I want. I don't want I'm going upstairs. You can come if you want kind of mentality. If that's the case, I don't want because I want you to
It
want.
wasn't like that. It was, I'm going upstairs, bring your ass type
And
shit.
I said, it wasn't, if you said
Yeah,
bring
we
your
said
ass,
bring your ass.
you always say
I
bring
should've
your
had
ass.
this, but
You always say bring your ass, and
But
that's
you know
the
he's
command
going
where I'm like,
upstairs,
he
you know he's
like
not
me,
going back
he
down.
want this ass, and then I happily trot behind you like a little puppy dog I am. But if you leave off the bring your ass, I'm like, well, fuck you, bye. That's what I did, and then a little bit later, I was like, what are you doing? I texted him and said, what are you doing?
In the bed, like
And he comes out, he comes out
for
and
you to
looks
bring
over,
your ass.
he looks at the thing and he just goes,
Yeah.
we want me to come up. Yeah, obviously. I mean,
yeah,
shut the
'cause
door when you
you're
get
never
there.
gonna tell me you
Come
want
in
it
and lock
unless
the
you
door
say bring
behind
your
you.
ass. That's your version to me. I understand. I accept you so much. I understand that's your version of being romantic.
That's some
Bring your ass
bullshit.
means I want you there. I want you to come, bitch. Come on, bring it.
so does I'm going upstairs.
No, I'm going to. You assume that I know that
Because
you
if I
want me
didn't want you to come
around.
upstairs, I wouldn't tell you I'm
Tell
going
you that
upstairs.
he's
I would
going,
just
he
go
just
the fuck
left.
upstairs.
Women
You know
have
what I
to
mean?
be told we are wanted around. We ain't married yet, boo. There's no like obligation there. You don't want
Well,
me to
even
follow
when
you
you're
upstairs.
married,
When
you
you're
can
married,
still
it's
stay
gonna be the
downstairs.
same.
No, when you're married, it's different. There's a different thing that changes in women's brains where we're just like, what are you gonna do? He's my husband, fuck him. You know, there's like a different
I'm gonna
thing
go to
where you're
bed.
just like,
I'm gonna go back
it's
on
a
the
different
bed.
thing. It's like you chose her already in the most grandiose way.
job.
Before that happens, you're still in the wooing phase. I don't care. You've been together 3 years.
Nah, that
Nah,
would be well. Was
the majority of average-minded women, and I'm average-minded when it comes to romance, I think a little bit. I'm a little bit antiquated where it's like I want to be, to feel special. And it's like, I think, yeah, sometimes a bitch needs to be told, like, I want you to come upstairs with me, ha ha ha, Like, and to me, that I have learned that the Jew has a way of doing that doesn't come across like the average individual. It is
He says it in
bring
Japanese,
your ass.
and you better figure it out.
That to me is like warm and fuzzies because I'm like, oh, he wants me there. As opposed to like, I'm leaving your ass on the couch. I don't give a fuck if you come or not. I'm going upstairs. That's what I felt. And what I feel is never what y'all say. It's never what you say. It's always how it makes
It's
it
how
feel.
you respond.
Yeah. I mean,
Y'all
the
the ones
word choice
responding
is
and
only
shit.
like 10% of what actually happens to a woman when you speak to us. 90% of it is like what's going on in our head, and we're like pontificating the worst whatever.
Deep diving too much into something that's not.
Well,
that
like
hard to
I'd
dive
say
into.
80%. It's not even deep diving. It's just like
It's your
No,
thought
it's
process.
exactly what
Is
y'all do.
exactly what you're doing. here.
Overthinking.
it's confirmation bias.
No.
It's confirming
no.
that
It's locking onto things that don't necessarily matter
Or are
and
not there.
And
And they
considering
don't. The
them,
first
and
several
considering
times it
them
happens.
something that's much bigger, like
yes, because that's how you learn where you stand with people's life and how they treat you.
blow things out of proportion.
Sometimes it's learned behavior from observation.
Which
It's
does not
blowing
make it
things out of
correct.
proportion.
Which does not make it correct.
It doesn't make it correct that certain behavior is consistently incorrect long enough, and we put up with it, and then it boils over. And y'all think we're blowing it out of proportion, but it's like the little micro dosing
But that's
of.
a
Micro
internal thing.
doses of you never saying anything about it, and then one day you're fucking lightning pissed off. Like, that's
Well,
not,
I wouldn't say
that's not reasonable.
I would not say I was lightning pissed off. The majority of the time, half the time, I'm just like, I'm
But
like
when it
kick fighting,
blows
like
over,
play fighting
when
with
it,
the man.
when it blows off the top, like
Yeah.
that's based on multiple microaggressions that you never actually articulated into a fine point.
I don't think so. I think that it's you
I
get
mean-
sick of saying the same thing, and the man just thinking all he needs to do to like get you to stop talking about it is to just sit there and listen. Like, if there's that's just what we were talking about in the last podcast. Like, obviously you listening is still got me talking, and I'm still talking because
Well, that's because you don't want me to fix your problems and you don't want to shut up.
no.
That's the problem with women.
No.
They don't want me to
You-
fix their problem, but
You
they
can
want to
shut a
keep
bitch
fucking
down.
talking about it.
You can shut a bitch down so quick with sweetness and kindness and just acknowledgement.
How is that appropriate when you're like, I'm at my job and Billy says this thing and then another thing and I'm not happy and they're making me mad? Da, da, da.
Just-
Or I was like,
you really
why don't
wanna
you come
fuck
over
up
here
a
and sit on
story?
my face, sweetheart?
You
Hey,
wanna-
honey, why don't you bring your pretty ass over here? Let me
That
come
would-
on
that would work on me. That
Yeah,
would
but
work
you're
on
not
me.
a normal woman like that.
But I
Most
think a
women,
normal
most
woman-
women be like, I'm trying to vent, knocking my pussy. Hey,
I mean, it
need to take a
depends.
shower. I've been at work all day. Don't even be bringing that shit around me.
I've definitely
you
yelled
keep
at my
your dick to
man.
yourself for now.
One of the things Oscar Bowden and I bonded over is helicopter dick being like a tactic of y'all to like change the topic, right? Like you guys just think like I'm gonna be funny and hit her in the head with my dick.
Yeah, I learned that lesson early on.
You did, and he did. So with Andrew, it actually does work on me most of the time. There's very rare occasions.
I hit her with the woo.
But it does kind of work on me majority of the time. But there was one argument we had where I went the fuck off on you upstairs. I was it here or was it though? I don't remember. But I went off on you because I was like, you think your dick can solve everything?
Yeah.
Well, that's what you wanted to do.
It works 98% of the time.
98% of the time, it's a good tactic. 2 times it pissed me off because it did feel like, how dare you whip that out right now when I'm being this vulnerable.
But every time that it pisses you off, when it made you happy before, don't you know that just confuses us?
I do know that. That's why I feel bad
well, I
for
guess
the
I
Jew.
better not whip my dick out again or she's going to yell
And
at
he
me
didn't.
again.
He was scared to do it. I had to have a come to Jesus talk with him. He did. He legit
really want the
did.
dick
She had to
whipped out?
request it back again.
I did have to say, I like that dumb shit you used to do. Why don't you do that anymore? He's
you
like,
got
"It's
upset
intimidating."
about it.
That's what I'm saying.
You got your head about it.
What do you want? One or the other. You get one or the other.
Okay, you'll change that behavior with the quickness, but if we ask for compliments, you can't do that.
Look, I could do compliments to a degree.
Compliments are hard for me, I'm not gonna lie.
I have
It's
to
like
actually,
a foreign language. It literally is.
actually
You've
want
read the
them
book, right?
or believe them.
Yes.
It's just, they say it's a foreign language. It's a
I
foreign language to
know.
the other person.
I know. And unfortunately, both of y'all got with women that are teachers by nature. We like to teach and we like to give people chances. Like we understand capacity. We understand that you might be coming to the table an asshole, but you don't gotta be an asshole to me. When you start being an asshole to me, that's when we're not special anymore because I'm the one person.
It's like an active activity where complimenting is also an active activity. And if we're not doing either, it doesn't make us an asshole for not complimenting.
But if we're not the bitch that's able to get you to not be an asshole with just her, what are we? We're just like everybody else, and then we're going to start thinking that we're just like everybody else and you can replace me and you should because I'm out.
There's only been so many girls that I've ever been complimentary of. And it's always been like
you complimented the checkout girl at 7 Brew. What are you talking about? She's like, there's only a few and far between.
Do it when I don't have to worry about all the repercussions in my life.
More self-esteem than most women get out of a 30-year marriage. Like, what are you talking about? You don't compliment. You compliment women.
I like to compliment women, but I don't like to constantly compliment women, and I only compliment them in ways that I genuinely feel like. Yeah, that's exactly right. Because I want to be genuine in my compliment. Like, I can't just make some show. Hey, pretty girl. Every day it's the pretty girl I hang out with. Hey, pretty girl. What's going on, pretty girl? Hey, you're beautiful. Like, I can't just every fucking day hit you with the same fucking shit.
And we know that. We know that.
I need to be creative in my compliment. And if I'm sitting there watching legs walk by and like, hey, you know what? You've been delightful and beautiful. And I don't have to worry about you ever saying anything to me about that because you're not someone I know. I can compliment bitches I don't know.
So it's a
because
vulnerability
it's not
thing
even,
with you.
Well, to a degree, yes.
You don't want to blow a bitch up that could hurt you.
I don't want.
Because then she knows you really liked her.
I don't want to not.
Because you complimented her.
I don't want to be not genuine in my compliment of the woman that I'm actually involved with.
It just makes me sad that you guys have to think of fake compliments. Like, why can't you just look at your bitch and be like, God damn, she's an amazing superstar. Maybe I should just say that out loud.
Well, maybe because they aren't always.
Because you guys are like, men in general are like, well, she should know. I'm here, ain't I? That ain't enough, motherfucker. It never is enough. That's why good men lose good women all the time. Because they think that their presence is enough.
Or the woman lose a good man.
Maybe she can't turn the rainbow. She can't turn the shit turds that come out of bring your ass up. No, you're right. I am different in that sense. Bring your ass to me is like
that's because you've learned your opinions. You've learned your opinions. Yeah. Most women don't take the time to learn their man enough to understand what the fuck they're actually trying to say to them. Yeah. It's a constant game of like, I don't understand what you mean. What do you mean by that? What exactly is that supposed to mean? How am I supposed to take that? Oh my God, you're so offensive about all whatever the fuck. You make genuine attempts to like say something nice to them, and then they're fucking offended as fuck by it. Like, okay, well, I'll just fucking not try to be genuine anymore. And if I'm not trying to be genuine in my shit,
are these girls you're hitting on with the compliments, with the razzle dazzle, or are these long-term relationships where you compliment somebody and they look at you like, what the fuck does that mean?
I'm talking about not even necessarily a compliment, but like the attempt to make a connection
or to make
about
their life better.
A specific issue that they're bitching at me about it, being like, I'm trying to like you don't understand this thing. Let me fucking help you understand it better. And then, oh, well, you're just being condescending. Like, I'm sorry that like.
But that's
when I'm genuinely trying to like make this thing, and you're like, I can't believe you would do that, and it's like. What the fuck did I just do?
Has she told you sound like a know-it-all in the past?
No.
Well, then she gotta say that first, because it's probably not what you're saying that's making her feel bad. It's how you're saying it.
Everything I say always
the emotion behind it that women are picking up on.
That's why I don't fucking bother, because I don't have the fucking emotional time
the voice,
to try to be there.
Tired as fuck,
just to be fucking blown out of the water for making the attempt.
Of the tone.
You know, you make the attempt with the person that you're trying to care about. They treat you like shit for it. You're not going to keep making attempts about it. I'm not.
Right, I get, well, the same thing happens to a woman, right? But our attempts are to talk it through, talk about it. And you guys kind of tune us out after a while.
Well, it's because often when we try to have a real conversation with you, you fucking treat it like we're being condescending assholes to you.
Okay, so
like, pardon me that I was trying to
wants you to learn how to talk to her. If like, I don't think she's getting mad at what you're saying so much. She's like mad that you're saying it to her that way. Like, I think women become quiet in relationships and we stop. Problems actually occur when we're not kind of bitching about anything, because that's when we've checked out. If we're not coming to you with this, that, the other, telling you about this, that, the other, if we're not constantly trying to pick at how we think maybe you could do this or that to help us feel better about our relationship, the moment that we stop giving you the hard time about stuff, that's when we've checked out, because we've tried to do it too many times. I feel like, at least that's what's happened to me. I start to get checked out, and then I'm just like you guys sit back and say, well, I'm just that asshole, I'm not even gonna try. Women start to sit back and say, God, now I'm starting to sound like a nag. There's no fucking point. I'm just gonna give my energy and attention to something that, like, we're fixers too, in a way. Women always get labeled as like, oh, she just dates a guy because she's a project lover. She's got a project. She's fixing him up. He's a fixer-upper. But that's not the case. Like, a lot of times it's really just like, you guys aren't liking how we're asking to be treated, and you're trying your best, but we're still not liking it. So you're like, what the fuck? Why am I even trying? But women do that so much that after a while, we're like, okay, well, if he's really if he's gonna flinch every time I bring up something, or if he's gonna roll his eyes or look away or say the same phrase he always says, we start to shut down, and we're like, he don't even like me anymore because he used to fight with me at least about it. Some dumb shit like that starts happening in our head.
Sometimes the fight's just a headache. Like,
sometimes the fight occurs because a woman just wants to know you're gonna fight for her.
Me and Dr. Bowden, I think she told one of her friends one time. As a matter of fact, I told her friend this one time. Her friend was over the house, we're talking or whatever, and her friend had came up with this fucking dude that she was seeing or dealing with, not even seeing really, just some fling she had, and had this, I guess something went bad, hadn't spoken to this motherfucker in months, and had a whole argument saved in the phone. And I'm like, why the fuck do you even have a whole argument saved in the phone for a motherfucker you ain't even seen in months? Like, it makes no sense. So that way when he calls, I can go ahead and go off on him. For what?
Yeah, because we will accidentally be so flattered by the attention and the call that you are calling us and chasing us that we'll forget all the reasons why you were a bad dude. So we keep it in our phone so we can be like, nah, this is what I should have said.
That's a problem.
It is
it's
only,
it's a defense.
It's not dwelling, it's a defense mechanism. You hurt a woman bad enough, if you hurt her bad enough and she's saving all of the bad things, I've done this with dudes.
It's
not a red flag.
But it is. That's what I told that girl. I said, you do realize that's a red flag. And she was like,
not if he's an abusive motherfucker that she keeps going back to.
No,
but
that's a red flag.
This person was going back.
A woman that continues to go back.
Like, this motherfucker paid for her to come out there. And I told her, I'm like,
you know who it is? It's that dumbass hoe.
I said,
when she was on here, and I was like, you dumbass bitch.
I said, you know damn well you're only going out. She's like, he's not gonna get none when I go out there. I said, yes, you are. She's like, we're gonna have this argument first. For what? No dude is
so that she can feel better about fucking him afterwards.
No, it's because she knows somewhere, some way, probably that man demonstrated to her that he don't give a fuck, and she finally got mad enough about it.
No,
and really. So then
why can't you just be done with it? Why can't you just be like, I'm gonna block this phone number and not deal with this person?
So it really was just like you hurt me, so before I let you get this puss, I'm gonna make you feel the pain too.
And I'm listening to her say this, and I told her, I'm like, look, that is a fucking red flag. You know what I mean?
In that situation,
but when I tell her this, she's like, you act like you and Sarah don't argue, and I told her, I'm like, no, we don't. Like, I don't have the energy to go with the argument if the argument I know is like a pointless argument. Like, if you're arguing about something that is actually truly really fucking with you type shit, cool, we can hash it the fuck out. You know what I mean? It'll be a quick say what you say, or Sarah gets quiet. She just stops talking.
Me too.
Me, on the other hand, I'll ask you, but I only ask you twice. Are you alright? If you don't say nothing and you say fine, fuck it, I won't say nothing. I'll wait a little while.
How dare you take a word for it that everything's fine?
If you don't say nothing, if you don't say nothing again, and I'll wait hours and I'll ask you, are you okay? And you say I'm fine, I won't say shit. That to me is done. If I go to sleep, get up the next day,
it's a new day.
Whatever happened is it didn't happen.
She's over it. It's a new day.
To me, I'm like, yeah, it's a wrap. But she'll bring it up like, you know why I was talking to you like a couple
we
days
gotta
later.
figure out if what we are upset about is really something we should be upset about.
I think you're wrong about it most of the time.
Well, there's many times where I've said I'm fine, and then a couple days later I want to bring it up, and then I'm like, nah, bitch, you really didn't.
But the thing
really overreacted.
We actually talk it out. We'll sit there and talk, and I'll go through the motions with it all. Like, all right, what is actually, like, where is this coming from? Like, there be days where
that's why he ain't got energy to come up with compliments.
She would go off. I remember there was one time, I forgot what it was. It was something, and we was having a good time, and I think I was tired or some shit. And when I get tired, I don't say shit. I'm chill. I'm in my own fucking world. There's nothing happening up here. I'm just chilling.
Yeah, to men, yeah, y'all.
And she'll be like,
I think.
You all right? Yeah. What's the matter? Nothing.
I do that to Andrew.
Yeah.
I do.
And then she'll be like, well, why you ain't got to say it like that? I'm like, what the fuck? You asked me a fucking question.
Yeah, because y'all get annoyed at our concern.
But because if
and we get annoyed at your lack of.
Nothing's good.
Sometimes we just want some peace and fucking quiet. It just want to stare at the wall type shit.
That's it.
I'm just asking a question. You can't ask any question without being told you were just asking a question.
Why are you saying like that? I'm like, what do you mean? Why I say it like what? You're saying all that? I'm not negative. I'm not being an ass.
It feels like you're annoyed at our love. We're just checking on you, and you're snapping at us.
I answered the question,
and you're not believing us.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know why I said I'm good.
What do you want? If I had said, bitch, I'm fine, then like maybe you got room to be like, what's with the attitude?
Well, what do you mean?
Say, I'm fine. What? What am I supposed to say? I'm good, I'm bad, I'm fine, I'm okay.
I'm fine. All right, I'm just making sure.
We just want you to vent to us.
I just want to relax. All right, I'm just making sure. You know what I mean?
I'm just making sure you don't have anything to get off your chest.
I'm just checking on you. Yeah, I just want some peace and quiet.
Just fishing for new shit to start fights over.
I understand. I'll leave you alone.
Like,
I'll let you be. I see you need your peace.
Well, she's like, are you tired?
With an attitude.
And
then all of a sudden that's like, all right, well then what the fuck you want to talk about? And now all of a sudden you're the ass because
you're like Denzel and Training Day. All right, you don't want me to read my
because the first time I said, when the man says I want peace and quiet, and you keep talking, I'm like, well, I'm saying get peace and fucking quiet. So it's like, what the fuck you want to talk about?
Is this not what you wanted?
Okay.
Are you not entertained?
Let's talk. Oh, like that? Now I don't want to talk no more. All right then, I'm gonna go back to enjoying peace.
You're just gonna talk like that now. I don't want to talk to you.
So that's all you're gonna do is just not talk now? Okay, so what the fuck you want to talk about? Why the attitude? God damn it, what is it? We gonna shut the fuck up or we gonna talk?
We were sitting there and we're like, it was his abusive father, that's what he's thinking about. I wish he would tell me that. Let's talk about it.
You know the meme where the guys laying in bed, the girls laying in bed, and she's like, he's probably thinking about girls.
Yeah,
and it's over there, he's like,
fishing.
Up, down, right, left,
yeah.
select start.
How come I can remember the Contra code? That makes no sense. Yeah.
You know, and it's like, you think we're off there like fantasizing about whoever from the job site. Oh yeah, you remember that girl that was in the elevator at the hotel 14 months ago when we went to that beach resort place? Oh yeah, I'm over here thinking about her. Oh yeah.
That's why y'all get so excited when you ask us what's wrong and we say we're fine, because to y'all that really means you're fine.
Means you're fine.
You say it to us and you're honest, and we're really like
you're being
analyzing.
Passive-aggressive.
No, we're figuring out.
Fine.
I'm fine. That's I don't say it. We don't say it like that.
There is an episode, we did this before, where when I was like, because me and Sarah, I think Sarah was with us on the episode, and I was like, I asked twice. I don't ask no more than twice. And you're like, you gotta ask the third time. No, the fuck I don't.
Yeah, you just heard her twice. You better adapt, woman.
Okay, but what have you learned though? You learned that it may be a couple days, but then you give her the conversation, right? You said we sit down and we talk about it.
There's an issue.
Well, see, here's the thing. I know I might not even know the fucking issue.
Exactly.
But I know there's a conversation that's gonna come. I just don't know what the fuck it's gonna be about sometimes. You know what I mean?
And then when she starts talking about stuff,
I'm not blindsided.
because he knows when she said she's fine, he knew it was coming.
I know something's coming. I'm like, all right, now I just gotta figure out what the fuck it was that I did, and something
that's how y'all have a good marriage, because you are smart enough to know that there may be that time period where there's gonna need to be a conversation, instead of her just exploding and saying shit that you're like, here we go again. You're like, what do you do in those conversations?
Sometimes you try to
coax them
out of conversation, and they won't do it.
Yeah, it's going to be a back and forth. She goes, she says what she says. And forth. Yeah.
It's not just her saying, I'm upset about this.
Yeah, there's a back and forth. You know what I mean?
There has to be that back and forth.
And then most of the time, like sometimes, not even say most of the time, sometimes it'll be like, well, see, it'll be like, you know this because the way you're reacting. No, I'm reacting this way because there's nothing for me to say about it. You know what I mean? Like, if I actually had some input for whatever was going on, here it is. Now, if you don't want to believe what the fuck I'm saying or anything like that, cool, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But as long as you done got it off your chest, you just said what you had to say.
You would say y'all don't fight?
Nah, we don't. We don't. We will.
Which is hilarious, because I can think of 4 situations right now that I've been told where your bitch is going crazy on your ass. It's not like a fight to me.
Not to Mike.
But to me, I'm like,
that's what I mean. Why is it so different?
Because he's had way worse.
Mentality.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about perspective.
Yeah.
It's all the mentality. It's all your precipitation of the event.
Yeah.
But I think she would also say that we don't fight. But I know that bitch has almost ripped his TV off a wall. Like.
Oh yes, that she's even told me that one. And I'm like, all right, because she's like, you don't think I'll fucking
ever told the Jew and I?
Oh, you don't think I'll fucking do it? Take this damn TV.
We were dying.
That's cool too. Like, okay,
she got that Viking strength. She could do it.
I am a calm individual to where it's like, all right, if you want to throw the fucking TV out, that's also cool. That's a fucking object that can be replaced with no problem.
The time that we didn't get the food, that I felt like that I would have said that was a fight. She was big mad at you.
That wasn't a fight. I knew that was already coming.
Big mad.
That was part of the plan in the first place.
I already knew this shit was gonna happen.
It was not planned.
We ain't making that.
That he wasn't able. That wasn't planned. He had good intentions.
I had good intentions.
But it didn't work out.
When you seen the fucking traffic, it was like, she ain't gonna believe it.
45
She's not gonna believe the traffic happened. She's not gonna believe none of this shit. She's gonna want me to send this fucking traffic.
Because she knows she's worth whatever.
Get all the fuck here to get this one fucking goddamn meal.
Bro, there was no meal.
DC is
not worth no goddamn wheel. They go in this motherfucking
I know. And I was going to vouch for you, dog. I did vouch for you.
It doesn't matter because of the way she felt.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, but he tried to like guide her expectation of how to feel because it wasn't likely to occur. Because
did you have to drive home from the Jew's house after that? Right when we got back, you did. You had to drive us off.
Yeah.
All right. So whole thing could have been resolved. if
you pick some other food up,
What if
she
owned a fucking helicopter?
exactly.
If
She's
you
not gonna be
showed
happy
up
with
with
that.
flowers or something, I wonder what that would have done.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Really?
See, and
Nothing.
that's why it doesn't happen often.
You wanted that Indian food up there and that
she
Because
fucking
that's an
certain ass.
apology.
food, and
She's
I had
gonna see
already
that as
said-
an
She'd be like,
apology.
I didn't want flowers. I wanted
She
Indian
wanted
cuisine.
the food
Right.
that was up there because I had said
I
yes.
wanted to take
That's exactly
5
how
minutes
it
to
went.
get you flowers and not an hour and a half to get you some food.
Yeah,
While I
man,
had
you could stop and get
multiple
that.
friends of mine in the car with me that were
I
all
would've-
relying on me to get them home.
I did. You really didn't have a choice. You could not. There were too many heads in that car saying, "Fuck it, no way in hell. Look at that
I
traffic."
know this.
There would have been. I was there. I know.
I explained this,
I
but
was.
that
I was one of them, and
explanation, all
I
that-
And now
stupidly
she's
said
going to
she'll
listen to this
understand.
episode because you're on it, and Michael is going to have
Well,
another
I
argument
said,
about
I was
this.
like,
No.
she'll understand. No, she knows. She's not gonna. She knows there's no malintention there. She's not gonna get mad all over again.
It probably will. She probably will. She'll have a moment.
No, because we were talking about all the reasons why you didn't. Again, reiterating the point.
That whole thing does not matter. The fact of the matter is, I said I was going to go here, and I didn't go there.
You didn't keep
See?
your word.
Yeah.
It's not that I didn't keep my word. It was I couldn't keep my
Well,
word.
sometimes people are completely unreasonable. That chick I used to hang out with wanted me to fix her fucking doorknob on the front of the
Oh,
house.
I remember that
Deadbolt
incident.
shit,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, for months, she's like, can you do that? I'm like, yeah. Do you have the piece you said you wanted to buy to use to fix it? No. Okay, then.
She wanted you to buy the piece, dog.
No, she said she wanted to buy something very specific. And I said, okay, do you want to tell me what it is and I can get it? No, I want to get it. Okay, well then you get it.
How's she gonna
And
be mad at that?
I don't know. But I'm not fucking, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, go get it, I'll fucking do it. Now
Okay,
I'm
hold
like,
on. I'm about
never
to
gonna talk to you again.
Hold on.
Could be
I'm
one of the
gonna
last
tell
things I
you how
do
she
for
got mad at it. Because she probably said the piece that she wanted was expecting him to go buy that specific fucking piece to put on that fucking door. Is that something that would be in that woman's mind?
that I didn't even
Did she
know
show
what she
you the
wanted.
picture
No.
of it? Then how
She
can
said
you
it was some
know?
kind of something
You
that
can't
was like
say that I have very
electronic.
specific taste. I want to be the one that gets it and picks it out to make sure it's right.
Right.
And not
I mean, you
send
can,
me-
If I bring a
shouldn't,
brass
but you
one
can.
home or a black
it's
one
just like
home,
me, like-
one way's going to be good, one way's not going to be, or maybe
What was
both
the
of them are
fight
bad.
about? What did she even get mad about? You still haven't
This
done
is-
something that
this
you
is-
were incapable of doing? I don't understand.
Yeah, that was it.
That's what she got mad about.
Yeah,
Well, you never did this doorknob thing, bitch.
Yeah.
You never. And what'd she say when you said that back?
Well, I'll
You
go
said
get
you-
it right
I-
now then. All right, then go get it right now, and I'll fucking finish it while I'm grabbing my shit and leaving this motherfucker.
Aw, so then it felt less like a nice thing you're doing and more like a punishment task that you're just doing because you have to.
I'm doing it
She's
because I
mad.
told you I'd do it, and you're being a dumb fucking bitch. And if you want to go get that shit right now, I'll fucking handle it for you. Otherwise,
That's
I'm fucking
exactly how
out.
it happened.
And fuck you if you don't fucking like it.
That's exactly
You know,
how it
because I've been
fucking
ready to help
Is that
you
what
with
you
this
said to
stupid
her?
shit. Yeah, once we
Yeah.
get there,
What was she
Lisa.
really
Well,
mad
how many
about?
times? I mean, how many times do you ask about something that ain't really to be done? I mean, how many times you ask me to do something that I literally can't
I
fucking
just feel like
do?
there's got to be
And
something
something I've
below
told you
the
multiple
surface
times,
there
I'll
that
handle
she's
it as soon as you
secretly
have
mad
the piece.
about.
Yeah, she's mad about something other than
What
doing.
was she secretly mad
Everything.
about?
That I didn't think that she should be allowed to enter a boxing match against my sister.
Well, okay.
You know what I mean? I don't
Look,
fucking know.
I think I could be the voice of women, and then y'all tell me some dumb shit like that, and I'm like, well, goddamn it,
And that's
honey.
why I'm like, you can't tell me
Somebody has
anything.
no
like,
defense for
'cause
her.
who the fuck knows? There's stuff that's indefensible that bitches get mad at me about, and I'm like, all right, well, fuck it. Like, I'm gone. Like, we're done with this, you know? And, like, it doesn't always happen with all of them, but then it's like, you know, you chase one around, you treat her like she's fucking cold, and she ghosts you and shit. Like, you know, it's all over the place. Yeah, I tell this one she's beautiful because I actually think she is, and she fucking ghosts me. I tell, you know, I fucking do whatever for this other one that I can. You know.
It feels
we
like a
try,
waste
but
of your time,
It's
then,
always
to
a waste
try.
of time, Lisa. It's always a waste of
Until you
time.
find the one and you
Yeah.
don't know who that bitch is.
Theoretically.
You get mad that she's busy,
That's
too
the
busy to
theory.
talk, and you called her beautiful. I mean, she should have not ghosted you. That was rude, but
That's the theory. You know, you find one that like if I don't like actually really enjoy their company to a degree, or like see that they're like pretty cool and I like hanging out with them, like I don't fucking bother with
Yeah,
them.
that's why I got with Das Foreboding.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I got with her, I was also seeing two other chicks at the same time, and I told all of them the same fucking thing. Hey, I'm dating this person. If things go good here, I'm just gonna you're just not gonna see me no more, type
Yeah.
shit. And fucking as I got to know,
and she was like, "It's okay, I'm cool. I'm dating other people too." But
that's what I thought she was, but she wasn't.
Yeah,
I really
but
thought
she was so cool that maybe she was. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was fucking had other people. So I'm like, all right, if something pops off here, we're good.
Yeah.
And just so happens, I'm like, you know what? I told Kid. I called Kid. Kid was the first motherfucker I called, and I told her, and then I told you. and I was like, yo, this shorty is different. Like, I can actually sit down and we can have a conversation. We're so vast in our knowledge of different things that we can actually sit down and just have a conversation about the dumbest of shit and the fucking most intellectual of shit.
That's your soulmate.
You know what I mean?
One
So
of
I
them.
was like, all right, bet, cool. Fucking, I like her for just who the fuck she is, period. You know
Yeah, I
what I
had
mean?
one of those for like 14 weeks. It was pretty
Want a
cool.
soulmate? You got. I mean, you can have multiple soulmates.
Yeah.
I think you
got-
can. I'm a big
absolutely.
believer in that,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It
You
does-
kinda gotta.
The soulmate,
That's why I can't-
your
that's why I
soulmate
can't
doesn't
get a-
have to be
get a-
your relationship.
Doesn't have to be
partner.
love
Your
always
soulmate,
either.
like,
Romantic.
all right, kid's one of my soulmates. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, that's my homie all day long.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Laura.
she knows every fucking
That girl.
secret under the sun.
I can't get rid of her even if I tried, because that
Shit,
bitch not
nigga, you
soul
one of my
tied.
soulmates, nigga. You know, fucking, you helped me get through so much fucking shit. Like, me and you, we're tighter than me and fucking Dan. You know what I
It's
mean?
not just the girl you lost your virginity to. It's not just like
Nah, the girl I was
I
with,
lost
we
my
weren't soulmates.
soulmate, my whatever. Like,
We were mates.
yeah. But no, I think a lot of people
I
don't
ain't get that
have.
deep in that one.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't have an open enough mind to think that it can exist on different planes and
Like
different
our-
seasons
matter of fact, our friend
and different
circle.
things. Like people
Our
are just
family,
like,
Yeah.
we're all soulmates in that joint.
absolutely.
You know?
I smelled that shit the day one I hung out with all you guys. I was like, this is a different kind of level of friendship bond that these
this
motherfuckers
is
have. The
family.
Rickety Ship crew, all that stuff, like it is on a different level. I
Yeah.
sensed that from the beginning, which is why I was scared to death of everything, because I was like, how am I gonna integrate into this? How am I gonna like ingratiate myself amongst these people
You're
that
good people. You just slide right on in.
Yeah.
well, that's the thing. I don't think I slid. I think I fell on my face probably 30 times, and then y'all
You
just
tried
kept
too hard.
loving me.
Yeah, you probably tried too
because
hard.
you're their soulmate, though. They accepted me because of how much they love you, and you're soulmates with them.
No, if you're a bitch, no one's gonna talk to you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I am.
If you acted in the way
how
you
full
of
they
my
would
dick
blame they would
I can
come
take
out.
you to the party, and if you're a bitch, they're not gonna talk to you. You're gonna be over there in the corner.
No,
Like,
I knew I was a prize. I knew I was a prize. I'm just saying. It's
Okay, wait, hold on. If you know you're the
I
fucking
think I'm
prize,
every
then
dude's
why the
soulmate.
fuck? Why does this motherfucker have to keep on pumping the cop if you know you're the prize? You
Yeah.
already know you're the prize.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there is a bipolar thing in me, though, y'all. That
beautiful, amazing
I'm just like Das Verboten, where I've got that confidence and I know I'm the prize,
pinch
but
your
I
nipples
also want that reassurance, because it's not that it's a facade that I'm like, I'm the prize. I actually really do believe in my worth, and I do have a lot of worth in myself, but I want to feel like you are aware that I'm a prize and you cherish me. Like, I just want to be cherished.
You want him to take his jacket off and put it over the puddle and let you walk over that motherfucker.
He would. But there isn't very many opportunities for men to do that nowadays, where that chivalry shit exists. So when, like, you're walking with a bitch,
Right, and that's what we prefer
you know,
to do, like
it's those little
chivalrous
things.
things,
Yeah,
as
but,
opposed
like,
to constantly
those
being
don't
like,
exist
oh my
so
god, your
much
eyebrows
nowadays.
are so nice today.
The
Did you
things-
line those up just so perfectly?
the things that you say, that would be amazing if somebody noticed my fucking eyebrows.
we don't-
But, like,
but
I
those-
hate that kind of
those
shit. You know, I
nuanced
swipe
things-
left on bitches with perfect
guys-
eyebrows.
you guys-
I'm like, look at that bitch. Her eyebrows are so fucking fake. Left.
Those things like that,
Gone.
those little teeny things like that,
Yeah.
that where women notice it on women instantly. We don't pay no mind to none of that shit.
I know,
like
and you
dudes
guys do
compliment
think
your
that
car. If a
romance
dude
is a
likes your car-
grandiose thing.
But Lisa,
it's not
like,
grandiose.
Women do makeup for other women, like dudes do
Yeah.
cars, and the only people that compliment them typically on their
Yeah,
cars are other dudes.
That's true.
I'm not trying to impress this dude with my car, but he likes it. If I see a guy whose car I like, I say, bro, that's light. I like
Yeah.
that. That's a cool setup you got
And
going
he
on.
did
know,
it because
different-
he
You know
likes
what I'm
his
saying?
car.
Yeah,
And that's
but
the
if the man
same
don't
way
like
that
your car,
women-
he may not pick it apart. Make
You feel like shit, whereas like I do think women sometimes have no censor with one another and they'll be like,
Well, men are less likely to take time out of their day to try to ridicule somebody's shit that they don't care about or
Yeah.
know. But women just love dragging each other down. Y'all are crabs in a
How
barrel.
is that much?
Y'all get together,
I
y'all
think
like
it's
crabs in a
oh
barrel.
man, I think that yes, I do.
With
You
each
gotta-
other's
you gotta take it way
ego?
back and figure out why women became in direct competition.
But
with
y'all
all
be
women.
crabs in a
Not
barrel
all
in
women
each
like
other.
that, but
A good majority are though.
you take one good woman and you cheat on her ass with a 20 years younger kind of bitch, and that woman
And she's
is no
ruined.
longer just
She's
a good
ruined.
woman, and she's going to think of every person as competition. Or she could have been raised by a mama that you know, made a comment about her weight one too many times, and now she's going to constantly be looking at other women, judging. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons why women are in direct competition with each other. It could be from upbringing, it could just be the glossy pages of Instagram as you scroll, it could be whatever fucking reason. But it could also be something that's like subsided and helped a little bit if there was more positive affirmations from our partners that are supposed to be our soulmates, you know?
No, but women that are single will do it to the other single women. Like, it has
also
nothing
build
to
each
do with
other up,
like nothing to do with like the need from their
The majority
partner
of comments-
to like validate them while they like bash the other women in their vicinity
Yeah, you bash them,
because
too.
of whatever they can. Just because you don't do that doesn't mean that a lot of women aren't out there doing that shit. They're like, oh my god, look at Tiffany's hair. Did you see her hair?
Yes,
It's fucking terrible. And then Tiffany will be like, well,
I
do
don't
you like my
people
hair?
like that.
And they're like, no, I don't like your hair. You look like shit, Tiffany.
Well, I mean, there is a line that you can walk where
That's
you
what
can be
they
like,
do.
honey, I love your haircut, it looks great, and like you feel good
Or
about
they're
it.
passive
But
about it.
you
They're
can
like,
also be
you know
like,
what you could do that would make this better? You could totally cut some of this and some of this here, and you should tie this here,
It's
and you
cute,
put your thing
though.
over here like this, and then do like that, and then go get a whole new thing done. Pay someone again to do with your hair.
become a whole
'Cause-
new bitch.
yes,
But the
That's
funny
what
thing
bitches
is,
do to each
though,
other.
we do that, yeah, but we also build each other up. Like, I actually have gotten probably more confident. I've gotten as many issues, but also I've gotten a lot of fucking
Women be on some fake shit, too.
instilled in me from conversations I've had with genuine women. Like, there's so many women in my life that have built me up to be confident. Probably more than there's been women that have, like, torn me down. I would like to think. Like, Dosper Bowden is one of them. I mean, she could flippantly say one thing that might hurt for a while, but like she also has this incredible ability to make me understand that like I am a badass bitch.
Yes.
You know, like that's a gift when a person can be like that.
well,
when they
ladies
can
and
do
gentlemen,
that, but-
with that said,
Oh, shit.
Lisa is a badass bitch.
No, we're not going. You don't need to do all that.
No. Don't forget, if you see Lisa around, you say, that's that badass bitch Lisa.
Y'all say it. I mean,
Badass bitch,
That's not-
B-A-B-L. Badass bitch
And the
Lisa.
funny thing is
that's
that
a B-A-B-L.
everybody in the room was saying it, and I looked at Andrew, and he wasn't even looking at me. That would be the thing that I focused on. That would be the thing. If he's not the one saying it,
That's because badass bitches like Lisa get a little silly sometimes. But with that said,
Yeah.
we
I
gotta
told
bring,
him to catcall me.
we gotta bring
yesterday. You know what
this
didn't
episode
happen?
to a close. Ladies and gentlemen,
What was that?
that's
That
enough.
was
The
a
4th of July.
We had shit to do, woman. The fuck?
I know. That's what
He
I'm
was
saying.
covered in crab. He was wearing the crab.
So
And you're like, oh, you can't catcall me while I'm walking around.
He was in the
In my
pool.
defense,
I
I
told-
did, and she ain't hear me.
Okay, beautiful.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, you missed it.
That's
You
your
do it
fault.
before, you don't do it when you're right beside somebody.
That's exactly right.
The purpose of it is just to try to offensively get their attention.
That's right.
That's what you go.
That's fun.
Instead of, hey bitch!
Shake that thing, girl. Shake that thing. Come here.
The moral of the story is
They
that
all resorted from.
take everything I say and write a song. Everything I say, just forget everything I say.
Moral of the story is, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget that we love you very, very much. We want you to be nice to people that look like you and be nice to people that don't look like you. Don't be a dick.
Little bit, ladies and gentlemen. Keep
I love
moving
it.
forward.
Listen to old episodes unless you're Lisa. Check out well. And, don't forget, we love you very, very
Love
much.
y'all.
We wish you nothing but the
All
best.
day, every day.
And peace be with you.
Yo.